Roberto and Carmen, 100 years old, live in a remote jungle region of Honduras, hours away from the nearest village. They sleep on the dirt floor of their hut, and the falling walls and roof leave them susceptible to rain and heat. But some caring men and women trek to their home, carrying supplies and braving the elements to build them a new bed and walls so that they can continue to live independently. A deaf man, unable to speak, read, or write, is the first to volunteer for the construction of the medical clinic in his village. After some initial communication issues, the project leaders develop ways for Gilberto to assist. Previously without purpose or direction, his participation helps him find his place in the community and facilitates an encounter with God that changes him forever. A band of known thieves is attacked by a villager seeking retribution with a machete. One of them, Selvin, is left to die by his fleeing friends, and his desperate father must turn to those he has robbed for help. Miraculously, Selvin's victims get him medical attention and provide his family with what they need as he recovers, inspiring a change of heart and soul in the young man. These are just a few of the amazing stories coming out of El Sauce, Honduras, where transformation is occurring through the work of Armor of Hope Ministries.
And so we spent 3 years going to all different areas of Honduras, this village, this city, that city, doing a lot of just gathering information and meeting people groups. And when we got to the village that we're at now, we were talking with the village leaders, just kind of trying to feel them out, what they felt their needs were. And one of the first things out of their mouths was, we have been praying that God would send someone to us, and He's answered our prayers. We want to learn more about Him, and we'll work with you, we'll partner with you in whatever area we need to help lift up our village.
This is exactly what the Armor of Hope team had been seeking, a community of people who wanted to be empowered and equipped to name and address their own needs, not just receive help from others. And so, a unique partnership began, geared toward providing adequate health care to alleviate suffering, raising up the educational system to foster self-determination and knowledge, and cultivating the spiritual lives of those who hunger to know God. Desires that have been expressed by the Hondurans themselves.
Once they've defined their work, we sit down and say, so where do you see us in this? And what part can you be responsible for? And so it's a development, and it takes time, and it takes patience, and a lot of effort, and a lot of commitment. It's not something that happens fast, but we want sustainability. We feel like if we do our job right, one day we actually can walk away, and they are taking care of themselves and those needs that they earlier defined, instead of an ongoing, we have to just keep doing this, doing this, doing this.
Since that initial meeting, so much has happened, with the villagers of El Sauce providing some of the funding and all of the manpower for myriad projects. They've built both primary care and emergency care clinics, which tend to thousands of patients each year. Since the nearest hospital is an hour and a half away, locals have been trained to run tests and administer medicines themselves. They've established Casa de Paz, a home to care for elderly and formerly homeless individuals without jobs or families. With it has come a cultural shift. Those who literally might have been left by the road to die are now being treated like cherished individuals. Grade by grade, El Sauce is rehabilitating its school system. The kindergarten building received a renovation, complete with new curriculum and teacher training that will ensure a solid start for young ones. The villagers are also working on an education center, a resource library of sorts, where students of all ages will be able to come to work with books, models, and tools to further their learning. All of this and more is happening against the backdrop of a growing church congregation that provides an opportunity for worship and teaching, led by locals trained for ministry, to those in El Sauce who want to know God.
Which they could have done all of this before, they just didn't realize they could. And now they realized they could, and they were standing back and they were just so happy and proud of themselves because they realized they did it. I guess that's the biggest thing, is seeing changes of attitudes, because once you can change an attitude from hopelessness to hope, then they get excited and they want to go do things, and they see, oh wow, we can do this.
That hope has been contagious throughout the region. As life improves in El Sauce, residents of the surrounding 7 villages have begun to take notice and ask questions.
And so now we have villages who are looking at starting their own clinic, or who are saying, you know, we need a school. We have some villages don't even have a school, but now they're seeing, wow, education, that's pretty important. And so they're wanting to find solutions to not having a school.
As the residents of El Sauce invest in their community, the effects are being felt throughout the region. And as Armor of Hope continues to invest in El Sauce, we hope you'll feel moved to partner with us. Consider that all ongoing programs in El Sauce cost less than $15,000 a year to run. And consider that the construction and renovation projects of the last few years cost less than $75,000. You'll soon recognize that the American dollar goes extremely far in Honduras and is being supplemented by the poorest of the poor, selling their own belongings to finance the betterment of the community. But beyond what these funds do tangibly, consider the intangible benefits of people whose lives are beginning to evidence joy and peace and hope like never before. Won't you join Armor of Hope in this journey of empowerment?